Alright guys, that's Kremp again today. Hope you're doing well and enjoying your day so far. The Black Ops 6 ranked play drama continues. So many discussions on this over the last 24 hours. The cheaters continue to run rife. In fact, it might be even worse yesterday than it was the day before when ranked first came out. Does Ricochet anti-cheat even exist? Loads of other updates on the day as well, including Shotzzy winning Esports Controller Player of the Year over Simp and many other competitors. Very much into your thoughts in the comments below. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new, as always, I'm greatly appreciated. This is kind of fire with Benji at the start of the video. Lots of discussion on Black Ops 6, right? Because it always goes this way. We hear several months ago, oh, the game's great. It's going to be in a phenomenal state on release. And to be fair, there are some positive things here about Black Ops 6, but there are several things that may need to be changed ASAP, or maybe never will be. Of course, Control is a question. Control was great back in Black Ops 4. Nobody really denies that, with the Specialist, with 5v5 a game mode designed by Treyarch for that game. They've brought it back since then. It's never played as well. You know, Cold War Control was okay. I don't know if the pros would be able to tell you why we are still playing Control. The CDL seems to do it just for continuity, which I guess is fair enough. I don't want to go back to Domination, like at MW19. We ain't doing that. So, look, I'll take Control over Domination. Would I take Control over other modes? I don't know. JoeDeceives talks about that you have a zero gravity zone around the point. I mean, this is probably doable, right? It's probably not impossible to actually make this happen if they really wanted to and have Control every single time gone and uplink back in the game. It's an option. We've talked about ramps to the point. We've talked about trampolines or whatever. There are some ways to do it, but I don't think, unfortunately, this is ever going to happen again. Maybe next year. There were rumours that uplink might be coming back, but or jetpacks might be coming back in general. I'm not so sure I buy those ideas until I see it, but enjoy your thoughts in a comment. This as well, fair play to Havoc. I know that he's been going through it because last year he made such a great name for himself and a killing really playing ranked, and he still will again, I think, this year. But at times, I think he did move to console because on console he got no hackers. However, in this game, they've forced crossplay, so there is no escaping, it seems, right now. And Havoc, I think, was the first, like, actual legit player to get #1 of the rankings because everyone else here was hacking, which is an absolute classic right now. And, well, Treyarch have fixed it, don't worry, because instead of dealing with any of the massive problems in the game, and it's not like Treyarch can necessarily solve these issues, but it's just such a disaster class, they've banned the RCXD. So, you know, brilliant, right? Like, obviously, so many problems in the game right now, but, yeah, the RC is banned, and they fixed some other things. They did even an update track, and they said, oh, yeah, we've fixed this, fixed that, we're going in the right direction, and it's like, well, none of these things are the reason why ranked remains absolutely unplayable right now. And here are some of the reasons. So this is Simp in ranked play yesterday, and obviously he's frying, he's trying to win. 210 to 177 here on the protocol. He's playing with Drazah and he's playing with Havoc, and he comes around the corner here and this guy comes flying out the window and just absolutely guns him. Wow, get this guy in the CDL. And look at this POV. Guns Drazah, guns Simp. Wow, this guy is unbelievable. Right, what a talent. Like, damn, Simp's getting gunned by this new up-and-coming player. We've got to get him straight into the league, right? FaZe might need to drop Cellium ASAP and pick up this guy as their new AR. Like, yeah, nice shots, I guess, Buster. And did they still win the map? I think they probably went on to. So, yeah, it just goes to show what sort of players we're getting in action right now. And, well, this is one example. There's another example here. I mean, what are we doing? This is what annoys me about this supposed anti-cheat, is that, you know, if someone is wall hacking, soft wall hacking, if they've got like a small little mini map, there was a rumor a while ago, I don't even know if it's a rumor, but there was some people who were using hacks, and it was like in the bottom right hand corner of their screen, they would have just a small selection of dots that would rotate as if they're on a minimap, and it just showed where the enemy players were on the minimap, and they could then cover it with their webcam or whatever. And therefore, you know, they'd be able to cheat and basically get away with it. And it would be, you know, soft cheat. It's cheating. And obviously it's still a problem. But the point is that, you know, wall hacks or, you know, using something to be able to see enemies on the minimap, it's still a massive deal. And it still could potentially ruin challenges for this year or many other tournaments for this year. Absolutely. But the point being that it's not as blatant, I guess, is the question. It's understandable if Ricochet anti-cheat doesn't maybe pick up a tiny little wall hack where you've got, you know, dots in the corner rotating where the enemies are on the screen. When you've got stuff like this going on, How is it not possible for Ricochet to pick this up? That's simply what I don't understand. How is it possible someone spawns into ranked and does this, and Ricochet doesn't ban them immediately? Counter-Strike is not perfect by any means in terms of countering cheaters in that game. It does a pretty good job given the situation. But, you know, spin bots like this, you can't really get away with it anymore. Like, if you pull a spin bot out in CS, you're likely just getting banned instantly, because the game will recognize that somebody spinning at 1,000,000 miles an hour is probably not doing so legally, especially if they gunning people down at the same time. So it's like, you know, how is it even possible for this to happen, that Simps get in, I mean, aimbotted, like, I mean, this gunfight was obviously pretty outrageous in terms of the aimbot, obviously the Shotzzy were kind of nice, and then this guy's just straight up spin botting a few minutes later here in ranked, and it's the same old story again. So, as Karma says, and, you know, this is another example here of this guy spin botting as well. It's like, you know, what are we doing here where people are cheating like this and getting away with it? Like, I cannot actually believe that these type of cheats are just flying through the anti-cheats. Like, does it exist? Like, what's going on right now? As Karma says, excited to try out ranked? Don't even bother. It's never been this bad. Cheaters are everywhere. And Octane's theory is that Ricochet never existed at all. And, you know, this is all interesting as well when it comes down to, like, the cheat manufacturers, because these cheat manufacturers are making, like, millions off this stuff. And Activision's trying to shut them down. But obviously there's questions as to, like, surely it must be beneficial for Activision to get rid of these cheaters because it makes the gameplay better. But I don't know. There's some conspiracies about it, I'm sure. Octane says his theory is that Ricochet as an anti-cheat never actually existed. And it does feel like that a lot of the time. These were lots of the reactions as well. Nadeshot says the cheating in ranked is the worst that it's like ever been. I'm disgusted. I don't know how it's got to this point. The game is chalked. This is unplayable, says Methods. Zoom calling out the hackers, obviously. And yeah, as he says, some of them will cheat and they will literally just live stream themselves on TikTok or whatever. And nobody seems to care. Like, they can get reported, and they do get reported, and some of them will get banned, but they'll make a new account, they'll come back, and the cycle repeats. It's like, we've been talking, I mean, look, competitive gaming, the talk about cheaters is never going away, but in this case, it's just such an absolute unmitigated disaster that it really has just completely ruined the game for so many people. So I'm sure that Austin, Easy Mack are trying to get BPL up and running as it was last year ASAP to get this whole situation resolved. Because if ranked is a disaster, we've got to find a way to circumvent it. As Parasite says, glad to see the anti-cheat is working well for everyone this morning. And yeah, as Zinni says, look, World War II might not have been the greatest game. It wasn't my favourite, but I played so much World War II. There were so many things that it had going for it. And honestly, even though ranked was great in World War II, really, I mean, the way that the elo system worked, cheaters, obviously back then it was on console, so it really wasn't too much of an issue. My favourite thing though was the game battles integration. We haven't seen, I mean, first of all, game battles is dead now, rest in peace, but back in World War II, and I think Infinite Warfare, they had integrated game battles where you could post a game on the ladder, and, you know, once you found a game, you'd just go into the game and it would set you guys up. It was an incredible feature, like, it was so good. And that, of course, went away. So, yeah, such a sad day for competitive CoD in many respects. This is quite interesting, that I'll mention here from the Ghost of Hope. Now, this sounds good, or it sounds bad, depending on your perspective. So, he's being told about the future of CoD, because CoD's been around a long time. Activision are potentially going to change their approach in terms of how they do it. Of course, it's kind of Microsoft now. But what's happened, apparently, is they set up a new committee that will control features and systems at the franchise level, and let the studios make suggestions. So whether something like Omni Movement, which is new to the franchise, if it survives past this year, that'll be decided by this committee. So studios are being told not to innovate in areas like UI, prestige, certain gameplay features, but rather focus on innovating on maps, modes, and storytelling. That's where they want the creativity to be. So this can be good or bad. One option is it's good because it means that, you know, the developers focus more time on maps and, you know, innovating new game mode ideas or whatever, just to make the gameplay better, working more on spawns or whatever. Things like that, rather than innovating in areas that maybe don't need innovating, like the UI and stuff like this, prestige system, which which, you know, I think that's probably a good thing. The concern is that CoD will not change as much as it used to in the past. The movement, the UI, the prestige system, the gameplay features, they will all stay the same, and it'll just be Call of Duty every year, but made by a different dev, and therefore different maps, different stuff like that. So, you know, will a Treyarch game have a Treyarch feel anymore? Will an Infinity Ward game have an Infinity Ward feel? Probably not. That seems to be them moving away from that. And to me, that smells like Warzone killing CoD again, in my opinion, because they want that continuity. And I don't think it's a good thing on some level. Like, it misses that kind of magic that the older Call of Duties used to have, but for what we actually need focus on right now, maybe it's a positive. I don't know. Intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. Kind of torn on it. But let's talk about the Esports Awards. Lots of Call of Duty nominations last night. Puckett won Host of the Year. Always deserved when he walks away with this one. This was interesting though, I'm not going to lie. So, Esports Organization of the Year. We know that this awards show, the first part of it was in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, a couple of months ago. The second part of it was, I think, also meant to be in Riyadh, and then they moved it to Los Angeles, right, for last night's award show. But yeah, we know that there's been some arrangement there going to Saudi, obviously. And Falcons, look, fair play to Falcons. They've done loads in esports this year. They won the World Cup because they had representation across all sorts of different esports. But you know, it's kind of a classic, isn't it? It's like, was anyone else gonna win Esports Organization of the Year than Falcons here with the Esports Awards this year? Probably not, to be honest. Congrats to Mortal as well, who won the Esports Content Creator of the Year. Just wanted to thank you guys so much, because I know loads of you guys voted for me in this, and you know, got nominated this year, got the little finalist coin they sent out, which is really cool. And I'll probably throw that on Instagram stories or whatever over the coming days. But yeah, it was a great time. Thank you so much. I know that like the public vote doesn't count for everything in this, but I know that you guys gave me lots of support on this one. But yeah, congrats to Mortal and all the other deserving finalists. And we also have though the Controller Player of the Year. So Simp was up for nomination for this, Shotzzy was up for nomination for this, and Shotzzy gets the dub. Now, you know, totally deserved, I think, again. It is always interesting that how these awards are determined, because, you know, in the CDL this year, was Shotzzy the best player? He was probably the fourth best player, in my opinion. It was HyDra, it was Simp, who was also up for nomination, it was Scrappy. Those were the top three, but Shotzzy was right there pretty much most of the time, and he's also just the most fun player to watch, like in any esports, I think you could argue, and well, certainly in controller-based esports. But again, it's like, was he the best CoD player of the year? You know, probably not. But he wins Controller Player of the Year, which is bigger than CoD. But whatever, still absolutely deserving, and obviously there's so many people that could be deserving of these awards that I think Shotzzy's definitely right up there. So I wanted to share kind of the reaction to this. Hex comes up on stage to collect the award for Shotzzy, who wasn't there, and then he put a nice little video in to accept the award.
Accepting on behalf of Shotzzy, please welcome Hector Rodriguez.
Thank you. Shotzzy couldn't be here. Rank play just came out, so of course he has to stream. It continues to be my life's honor to witness and have a front row seat to seeing my friends accomplish their dreams. A few words from Shotzzy.
Winning Esports Controller Player of the Year means a lot. I've been gaming since I was a little kid back in Halo. You know, turned 18, got professional Call of Duty. Now, you know, I'm winning awards like this, and I just appreciate everyone throughout the journey, my friends, my family, my organization, OpTic, Big Hex, and yeah, appreciate you guys. Enjoy the show.
For the absolute superstar, right, he's done it again, and I think it's just a great moment in a way that Scump used to be in the conversation for these type of awards, right? I mean, Scump's won plenty of esports awards over his tenure as well when that's been going on, and, you know, obviously Kenny, I think, won it a few years ago as well in his early days, right at the start of his career, maybe in the World War II season, something like that, and yeah, now Shotzzy's on the board as well. I just think it's cool to see that torch passed on some level, right? When you had Scump, who retired, and there were theories as to who was going to be not the next Scump, because nobody's going to be the next Scump, but passing the torch to another just mega content creator and incredibly exciting player to watch. that is pretty much Shotzzy, right? And I think he's done a phenomenal job kind of taking that mantle on. Obviously, there was questions when Envoy joined the team about like the Prince and all this, right? But that never really quite worked out. They basically dropped him for Shotzzy in the end. And I think Shotzzy's become the guy that OpTic needed in many respects. So thought that was really cool. As Hex says, congrats Shotzzy, I'll take good care of this. And Shotzzy, of course, was in the replies to this one as well. So very much on Twitter, your thoughts on all of this stuff in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. Take care. And I'll see you next time.